Hello everyone. Today's poem is Xiaoya, 白驹, a Xiaoya poem from the Book of Songs. The title, 白驹, means the White Colt. 驹 refers to the junior horses of 2 years old age. So if we parallel that to a human being, it's roughly around the year of 20. And the color, white, is the most favorite, is the most noble color to Zhou people in the Zhou dynasty, like the yellow color is the most favorite and noble color in the later generations for Chinese, because that's the color dedicated for the emperors. And today, the most favorite color is red, the Chinese red. Because I think that's because that's the color of the revolution, and that's the color resembled the socialism whatsoever. So the favorite color changed through time, and when we read the poems in the Book of Psalms, we should remember that the white color is just like the red color today, or the yellow color in most of the time in Chinese history, the very noble and favorite color. So the title actually tells us a lot of things. One more thing, the white, 白, share the same sound as the Lord in Zhou dynasty. So the title actually has so many implications, and we can try to figure out and feel what type of implications through the whole poem. In this poem, there are 3 important figures. One is the poet himself, who wrote this poem. The other is his guest. So these two has a big party all day long, from the early morning to the sunset time. And the third important figure is this White Colt. And this White Colt very likely is used to parallel with his guest, and even could be the horses ride by his guest. Okay, let's go to the poem. Very simple in wording, but has so many implications. 皎皎白驹使我怅苗. The white colt, he's eating the fresh grass on my ground. 皎 means white. 皎皎 means very white. 置之为之，以勇今朝. 置 I try to limit the horse with the rope to attend him here, and I wish to last this morning forever. 置 means to use the rope to tie up the feet of horse, to limit the movement of the horse, to let the horse stay down. 为 is to pull the rein. So that also means to limit the horse's movement, let the horse stay down. So 置之为之 means I try to let this horse to stay down on this ground. And 以勇今朝, 勇 means forever, very, very long time. 朝 means morning. 所谓伊人余烟逍遥. The so-called person, he was enjoying here. 所谓 the so-called 伊人, that man. So 所谓伊人actually tell us that person is a very, very famous person, and everybody know him, and quite oftenly he was such called that man, like today, that man, that big guy, that famous person, that guy. The character yan means here, this place. The word Xiaoya originally means walk slowly with pleasure, with joy. And in this poem, and even nowadays, the term Xiaoya means very joyful, enjoying something very much. So let's review the whole paragraph now. Total 3 pair of sentences. The first pair of sentences, 皎皎白驹，使我长描, is a very typical starting, using the writing technique, 星, writing something surroundings, some scenic views. It might not relevant to the subject or may relevant to the subject. Okay, the second pair of sentence. 置之为之，以勇今朝. So this pair of sentences is quite different compared to the very original poems in the Book of Songs, compared to the a bit primitive poems in the Book of Songs, and it shows that this poem was written in some of the later time in the Zhou dynasty, because the writing techniques became more complex, because the second pair of sentence, the first half is still continues the first paragraph. It's talking something about surroundings. It's talking about the White Colt. And the second half, 以勇今朝, I wish this morning could last forever. This is about the feelings of this poet. So it makes the changes very smooth and very naturally, not like the very primitive poems in the Book of Songs, that the first pair of sentences is writing something surroundings, scenic views, and the second pair of sentences, it changed totally to the poet or to the subject, and there's no connections. I mean the writing connections between the first and second paragraph. And in this poem, we can see that the third pair of sentences is the subject, that person. He's the focal point. And he used the second pair of sentences to connect the starting sentence, pair of sentences, with the subject very naturally. Let's read it again. Try to feel it. 皎皎白驹，使我长描。置之为之，以勇今朝。所谓伊人，余烟逍遥. Very naturally, you will think that White Colt could be paralleled to that person, and the color white might imply that that person is something with the most prestigious social levels. Could be the lord or even a king, because the horse in the first sentence is white. So that's the connections. And also, it tells us something very, not very clear, but you can feel that. 置之为之，以勇今朝. He wants to constrain the horse from running away, and that might implies he wants to let his guest, that person, to stay down with him and not go away. And this also this implication is confirmed by the word 以勇今朝. I wish this morning could last forever. With this morning last forever, that guy and the poet himself, they are enjoying together here forever. And in that way, the poet or the host, he he let his guest, that guy, to stay down, not run away. So that so you can see all the three key elements was very closely related to each other, and they also reconfirm or implies with each other. So in the following paragraph, it's all the same ways. I won't tell this again. I just focus on the wording, what's the meaning of it. Actually, it's quite simple. Let's see. The second paragraph. 皎皎白驹，使我场获。That shining white colt, he's eating the leaves of soybean on my ground. 获 is the leaves of the soybean. 置之为之，以永今夕. Almost identical to the first paragraph. Let me try to rein and tie up this colt. Let him stay down. And I want this evening to last forever. 夕 means the time of about around sunset or the evening. So here we can see that the party, or very likely a big dining party, lasts from the morning till the sunset time, till the evening. And still, the poet himself is quite enjoying this party, and he wants this moment to last forever. 所谓伊人，余焉嘉客. He is the so-called that man, and he was my best guest here at this place. So the second paragraph basically is almost identical to the first paragraph, but with two different things, two more meanings. First thing first, the time progress from the morning, early morning, to the night time. And the second, it makes more clearly about this event. It's a big dinner, dining party, and that man is the best guest to the host, to the poet himself. And the poet enjoying the moment so much, and he wants this moment last forever. Why he wants this moment last forever? Because one of the very, very important values for the Zhou people is to value the brotherhood. And though you can imagine the poet himself is a Zhou people, because his poem was in this category, Xiaoya. And of course, he's a noble and very likely with a high-ranking positions. And that man actually was implied or paralleled by the White Colt. He is a lord. He is a very important political power, and that man very likely is a Zhou people as well, or even he's not a Zhou people. They are still with the brotherhood, could be with very strong brotherhood by the marriage. So the brotherhood actually is reflected through the poem and through in a lot of the poems in the Book of Songs. So that's the first two paragraphs about a very, very famous lord is visiting the poet himself. And the poet was so happy and he wants this moment last forever. So that's the first two paragraphs. Third paragraph. 皎皎白驹奔然来思 That shining white horse, he was running such quickly, come down to my place. So you can feel the change. It's a recall to the time before they start this big party. That man, that famous lord, he was on that white horse, that white colt, come down to my place. Okay, let's continue. 尔公尔侯，意欲无期。You are the Lord. You are the most prestigious officers. But are you still enjoy the leisure time forever? So let me come down to the characters. 公 means two things. First thing first, he was the most prestigious lord among the Zhou country. And at the same time, he serves to the king directly. The Gong is the most, with highest positions, 3 persons in the Zhou country. 三公九卿, so that's the government structure in the Zhou dynasty. The most high level is the king of Zhou, and under him is 3 persons, so they are called as Gong. So it's only 3 persons or 3 positions. And under the 3 persons, 三公, there are 9 high-ranking officers, which was so-called 卿, 三公九卿. So basically, that's the government structures in the Zhou dynasty. That's not very precisely the numbers 3 公, 三公九卿, but the position is quite clear, or the level of the position is quite clear. Gong is the highest position in the Zhou government, and under the Gong is Qing. So here it tells 2 things, 尔公尔侯, and another thing is Gong is a verb. You should rule as a Gong. You should rule as a Hou. Hou is a second level laws in the Zhou country. The first level, the most highest level of the laws, they are Gong, and the second level is Hou. Hou, first thing first, he should be a lord, and the second thing, he didn't have a position in the Zhou government, but he attended the meetings of the government periodically, normally once a month or once a season. So that's the difference between Gong and Hou. So you can see that the 2 positions or the 2 social levels, Gong and Hou, they are the most important people or most important political power in the Zhou country under the king of Zhou. And 意欲 means, 意 it means to hide away, to run away from his business. And here we can see that hide away from the business, from the political things, from the state affairs, because the guest, that person is a person of Lord, and he could have the positions of gong or hou. He takes a big, very important political stake in the Zhou country, in the Zhou state affairs. Yu means enjoying, happy. So 意欲无期 means that person, he hide away and enjoy his happy life without a limit. So here is a questioning from the poet to that guy. You are with the position of gong and hou, or you are born with the position, and you should ruling as a gong, you should ruling as a hou, but are you planned, or are you still hide away, enjoy your life without a date coming back? So this is a question the host, the poet, asking that guy, asking his best friend. You are born as a lord, as a gong or hou, but you are still hide away and enjoy your time without a date coming back. So what does it mean? So that means that guy, he has the position by his birth as a lord, as a gong, as a hou, and he has the duty to ruling as a lord, to ruling as a gong, as a hou by his birth. But he is already around 20s. You should come back to the political life, to take your stake, to take responsibility of your duty, to serve the king of Zhou, to serve this country, to fulfill your born duty. So that's basically the things implied, or the question asked. 慎而悠游，勉而顿思. So think it twice. Be careful with your leisure, with your tour, and please be diligent and to avoid your thinking to hide away, to run away. So this is still the words by the poet to that guy, to his guest. He's just like a teacher to that young man, to that young lord. You should think it over. 慎 means be careful, do something with carefulness, have a second thought. You should think it twice. Are you going to enjoy your life and hide away like today, like now? Is it the time you're coming back to take your full responsibilities to the states of Zhou, to the king of Zhou? And are you going think it over to avoid to run away from your duties? 顿 means a run away. 勉 could be a long word, which is to get rid of. So 慎而悠游，勉而顿思 means you should be thinking twice if you is about continue your joyful life, still not take your full responsibilities. And are you have thought about to get rid of your thoughts of hiding away? Because you are almost grown up. You should take your responsibility by your birth, by your blood. So far, we can have some of the guess about this point, about the host. So very likely, the poet is a senior person in his social levels as well as his age. And that's why he has the position to tell something to that man, to that famous person. So this poem is not between friends. It's between a senior person to a very high level noble person, a very high level lord, but he's still in around his 20s. He didn't take his responsibilities yet. So the poet, this senior person, tried to persuade that famous man. There are two normal explanations to this poem. One is between two friends, and the guest finally decided to go to hermit, and this poem became a poem that to praise a very, very noble person with extremely high virtues. And the other saying is that it's a blaming poem, that the king cannot let the very, very capable person to stay with him to serve the country. And thus, this poem is blaming the king that he's losing the talent. The second thing could not be the case because this poem was categorized into Xiaoya, so that can't be written by the king. Now the fourth paragraph. So you can see it's not the typical three-paragraph poem, so it's something was written in the mid or in the late West Zhou dynasty. 皎皎白驹在彼空谷 That shining white colt. He was in that empty valley. 生除一粟，其人如玉 A fresh grasp of grass. That man was just like jade. Here it becomes a bit relaxed. And the third paragraph is a little bit strict with tension. The poet, the host, was trying to educate, to tell something very serious to that man, to that white colt. And now it tells us very clearly, after this big, long party, happy party, that man with his white coat has gone away. He left and went back to his place, to his home. And they are still on the midway in that empty valley, a little far away. And this poet, this host, was standing there and watching that man living on his white horse. So you can feel the feeling, the emotion this poet, this host has such a strong relationship, emotion toward that young man, toward that person, that guy. And here the magic writing is still applied in the fourth paragraph, in the second pair of sentences. The first half is still about the white colt, something about Xing, and the second half is about the subject, that person, that famous, prestigious person. And it very also reconfirm my judgment in the term title 白驹, 白 equivalent as Lord, and in the third paragraph 尔公尔侯, you should ruling as the 公, you should ruling as 侯, and 御 for the Zhou people means the most prestigious lord, even the king of Zhou. So 其人如玉, all these places, the White Colt, the Gong, Hao, Yu, the Jade, they all reconfirm each other and makes that person so looks so shining and so prestigious and so famous again and again. So that's a very typical writing in a lot of the poems in Shijing to reconfirm with different words on one aspect. Don't value your sons too much, thus that make us to be far away or make our heart far away. So Jin and Yu, the golden jade, is the most prestigious and the most valuable material for Zhou people. And here it was used as verb, which means don't make something as gold, don't make something as valuable, as rare, as jade. So this pair of sentences still the words by the poet to that man, to that young guy, to that famous man. Don't value your sound too much. Don't make your sound too rare, too less. And that will make your heart away from me, far from me. 狭 means away and far away. 狭心 means the two hearts was separate far, which actually means their friendship, their brotherhood was lost. The last pair of sentences reconfirmed my judgment in the third paragraph that this poem describing a senior person try to educate, try to persuade a junior prestigious lord, and he wished him to take his full responsibility. He's still young like the White Colt, but it's the time to take your responsibility and don't hide away. Don't always enjoy your personal happy life. You should take something, you should contribute to the Zhou country. You should take your responsibility by your birth, by your blood. You should serve the king of Zhou as a gong, as a hou. So basically that's the things about. And also it reconfirmed or re-emphasized or tell us the most important values among the Zhou people, the brotherhood. Because in the first two paragraphs, the poet expressed his feelings. He wants this happy party last forever. Why? That's because the brotherhood, and that's the normal practice to use the entertainment, drinking party to enhance the brotherhood among the Zhou people. We can see that quite often in the poems in the Book of Songs. So in any of the poems in the Book of Songs, which is writing about a drinking party, it always has something about brotherhood. And the last pair of sentences also focused on the brotherhood. So in the middle, it's like a senior person is teaching a kid. You should do this, you should do this. You cannot do that. Again, you cannot play all the time. You should do something decent now. But in the last pair of sentences, he come back to the brotherhood. 勿金玉耳音, don't make your sound too rare, which means you should talk with me often. I want to hear your voice. Don't make it as the gold, make it as the jade, which is so rare, which is so few to me. And if you do that, that will make your heart far, far away from me. And with thus, our brotherhood will never exist. Okay, a very simple poem, but has so many explanations and has so many literature images. And in my video, I always try to find or identify the most closest meanings that the poet wants to express. This is a process maybe last forever because there's always something we could never know or we cannot know for the current moment. Anyhow, for the poems in the Book of Songs, it has so many aspects. So each generations, there might have some of the great scholars. They gave some of the explanations to the poems in the Book of Songs, and that very probably will become the literature images in the Chinese literature. Sometimes even it was wrongly interpreted, but the literacy image still there, and that became the building blocks of the poetry of Tang, the poetry of Song, the articles of the Tang, the articles of Song. So that's how the Chinese literature grows. It grows on some of the very, very nice foundations, but it also grows based on some of the misunderstanding to the classic articles, classic poems, like especially the poems in the Book of Songs. Okay, that's for today. I wish you enjoy it, and bye-bye.